Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. How we doing, guys? Give me a second. I'm just getting everything in order. Give me a second. All right. So, hello, hello, hello. Keith K.L. Belvin here. I pray everything is well with you. Let me go through this. Oh, hold on a second. Losing my phone here. What do we got going on here? Sorry about that, guys. All right, let me get this situated. Okay. Keith K.L. Belvin here, crisis specialist, author, educator. Pray everything is well with all of you. All right. So, day whatever after the Oscars and the plot thickens. Now we see pictures of Jada smiling after Will slaps Brother Rock in the face. And now everybody is slowly coming to the mic to offer their point of view on what happened Sunday. Jada and Will are going to wait for the red table, and Chris Rock has already offered some things in, I believe it was Boston. But here's my question to all of you. This is a hot topic, tons of debates. I've had some people come and want to tell me about what a good marriage is, and they're not in one. And I am in one, and I've been in it for 20 plus years, but it's okay. That's how the internet works. The bigger question is, what changes are you going to make after what you saw on Sunday? What are you going to do to help the Jada Pinkett Smiths of the world, the Will Smiths of the world, the Chris Rocks of the world, and anybody else who was affected negatively by what happened Sunday? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat below. What are you going to do? Let me know. I'd like to see it. Because I've come to be immune to a lot of the sensationalism that comes from these situations. It's kind of like in Malcolm X, when Denzel was Malcolm X. It says, so what you gonna do? Muslims will talk about it, speech, but Muslims take care of Muslims. What are you going to do? And that's when Denzel marched all the Muslim brothers down to the precinct to see Brother Johnson to make sure that he was okay. And it turns out he needed to go to the hospital because he had been beat senseless. But here's something I don't think a lot of you pay attention to that scene. Yes, that's a very powerful scene where the white officer says, no one man should have all that power, which we understand and we have seen. But here's what you got to pay attention to. It was the young black man who showed up later at the cafe. And he says, I've never seen a nigga up. And then he catches himself. I've never seen a black man do what I did or saw what I saw today. And let me tell you why that's important. That scene is important. One, he captured the attention of the young man of color. So much so that the young man of color wanted to learn more. One thing. Second thing, the young man of color, when he came into the cafe, had to get past his own fears because he didn't know who Malcolm X was and he wanted to have a conversation. Three, in the midst of talking to Brother Malcolm, he self-regulated. He was about to use the word nigger, caught himself and said black man. That self-regulation shows that he is attempting to become something different in the presence of the men that were around him. That is the power that many of us possess in the circles that we're in, but yet we don't use it. So my question to anybody watching, what are you going to do? It is easy to point fingers at Jada. oh, manipulative woman who has some issues with herself, and you know she's been this way for years, and when she was with Tupac and she really wanted a thug and she got with Will and all this and they got an open marriage and she cheated with August Alsina and she's a hoe and she's all, you don't know nothing. You know as much as I know what they showed us. So what? We can't control that. Was it wrong with her, what she did with August Alsina, a young man laying in our house who had his own issues, and an older woman slept with a younger man? Yes, it was wrong. But we don't know what Will did. We don't know what the definition of open marriage means in their lives. We know what it means to us. We know if we agree with an open marriage or not. So you don't know what was okay for them. We don't know that if every tear that came out of Will's eyes was because he was emotional about her cheating or he was emotional about the relationship possibly coming to an end. We don't know. We also don't know how much of that was staged. And with Will, what we do know is he came from an abusive home, which he talks about. But we don't know how deep that abuse cut him, because if you paid attention to the psychologist that he has traveling with him, now pay attention to that. The man travels with a psychologist. Why? We don't know how deep-rooted that abuse that he suffered at the hands of his father goes. We don't know what that's turned him into as a father. We don't know what that's turned him into as a husband. We don't know what that's turned him into as a man. But yet we're going to break out that brush of judgment, and wipe it on everybody. I feel you. You have the right to do so. That is the beautiful of social media and everybody having their own platform to say and do whatever they want about people they don't know. But how often do they turn that brush that they keep? I was about to curse. How often do they take that brush and wipe themselves with it? How often do they put themselves out on Front Street, put their own dirt out on Front Street? Not often. I know that they don't. And some of us haven't even gone through half of what Will went through, and we act 10 times as worse with 100 times less the money. And how many of us look at Chris Rock and go, he was being super insensitive to her alopecia and his comment with G.I. Jane too, when some of us have been downright disrespectful to folks that we sit right across from in the cubicle next to us. And when found out, so what? Yeah, I said it. But yet we're going to look at Brother Chris Rock and go, how could you be so insensitive? When some of us walk around every day as insensitive as anything could be. I don't care if her mother died. I don't care if her father died. I don't care if she got cheated on. I don't care what happened to him, man or woman. But yet we're going to judge what the brother did. So again, my question is, what are you going to do with all this? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I've been doing. Make myself available to the people who are hurting to give them an opportunity to end that hurt. How am I going to do that? Make counseling sessions available. Read and study and make sure my mental is on strong. So when they present something on the table that I'm not so familiar with, I have an understanding of how to help them. I'm going to read my Bible. Why? Because I'm a Christian. Now judge me on that, which I have gotten judged before. So what? I'm a Christian. I don't care what you think about it. I don't care how you think I'm supposed to act. Shut up. And I'm a Christian counselor. Yes, okay. But I'm going to make sure I read so I know what to do, how I use those scriptures. The last thing I'm going to do is use my platforms to make sure that the people who are hurting know where to find me. And I'm going to hold my hand out. I'm not going to hold my hand up, which many of you do. You do it verbally. You punch people in the face verbally. Some of you don't even know how to come on somebody else's page and be respectful. You know why? Because no one ever taught you how to write respectfully. Why? Because you don't speak respectfully. And if you felt a little something about what I just said, you might be the problem. A hit dog hollers. Some of you are so used to pointing fingers and judging that you won't even listen when somebody says your shoe's untied. If you looking at my shoes for, so what is untied? Maybe I want it untied. Shut up. Some of you are so derogatory that you wouldn't even know what help looks like. And the sad part for some of you, you'll criticize someone close to you when they attempt to get help. Now, I don't know who needs to hear this today. I don't know who's sitting in their office, sitting at home, sitting on their phone, sitting on the train, sitting in their car, wherever, who needs to hear this today. So you should like this and share this. Send it out to somebody who might need it. But again, I'm going to challenge you. What are you going to do other than run your mouth and make a couple of posts and pass on a couple of memes and some jokes? Some of the jokes that folks have passed on are crueler than what you perceived Chris Rock's joke. Some of you same folks who's criticizing the fact that Chris Rock did X, Y, and Z are passing jokes that criticize Jada, which is worse than the joke that you're talking about. So you don't even realize how you're part of the problem because you're not fixing it. Some of you are criticizing Will Smith would have been some of the same people posting 9,000 memes congratulating him for winning the Oscar if this hadn't happened, which makes you suspect. So again, I'm going to ask you, what you going to do? How you going to help the people around you who need help to get it? How many people do you help on a regular basis who are suffering from worse than what Will and Jada are suffering from? You know why it's worse? They don't have the money for a full-time psychologist to travel along with them. Some of them would love to get the help from their church, scared to say something. Some of them would like to get the help from their partner, scared to say something. Some of them would like to tell their friends, I am hurting, scared to say something. Especially the men. And brothers, don't think I'm not talking to you or about you. I am. Some of you brothers is as soft as paper because you'll criticize Will Smith and say, yo, I wish somebody had slapped me. But yet you can't even deal with your own pain. You question if he would have slapped a white man, but you bow your head at work the minute you think your job is in jeopardy. Some of y'all criticize Will for the way he's acting with his wife, but the minute your wife says, yo, where you at? Hold on, honey. Yo, fellas, I'll be right back. Yeah, no, baby, I just went to the store. But yet you talking about that man because he's in public, but you get to sneak home and hide. I know because I've sat there and watched. I know because I've had those conversations with brothers. Yo, big dog, what do I do? She caught me. She caught me cheating. What should I do? Shut up. Go home and face the music. That's what I had to do. That's what I had to do. I had to own it. That's all you can do. And you may lose it all. Yeah, you might. You might lose it all. And I'm going to tell the men something. Now, check this out. And any man that is around me that has had me help them, you can say if I'm lying or not. You can say I'm capping, put it in the chat. One of the first things I'll tell any man who comes to me whining and crying after they have gotten caught cheating. Was you? Was you whining and crying about all that you were about to lose when you was up in the coochie? If not, then shut up. Because I have been there. And I know what it is to face somebody in the face that you shouldn't have been with, and now you're about to lose it all. Well, you know what? The only thing you can do is apologize to the person that you was cheating with, and then go home and try to fix the person you cheated on. And leave it alone. Chicks ain't stupid. Stop thinking these women you laying with are stupid. Some of them is like, I'll let him rock, because I could blow his whole world up. I'll let him go. And it's not because of you. It's because of your wife, your girlfriend, whatever. Ladies, if I'm wrong, put it in the chat. Ladies, put it in the chat if you knew something that would just destroy that dude, but you let it rock because you didn't want to hurt her or his children. Put it in the chat. And guys, please pay attention to this. Most women already know. They just choose not to be messy. Trust me when I tell you. Most women already know. They just don't want any more drama because they already had enough drama dealing with you. It's the ones that you keep hurting that go, you know what, I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm going to burn this whole house down. And you know what? You deserved it. Because you had a chance to maybe get out of that and not lose everything. So again, I'm going to ask anybody watching, what are you going to do? What's going to change for you after what you saw on Sunday? Because here's what I believe. I give it 2 weeks. I give it 2 weeks because we got to wait to hear from the Oscar decision on if they're going to ban him and whatever. I give it 2 weeks, and then folks will slowly go back to whatever they're going to because the weather will change. It'll be warmer, and folks will be outside, and you'll get all the I'm outside videos. We outside. Which means you could care less about what happened at the Oscars. NBA playoffs will be in full swing, and cats will be caring less about Will Smith, Jada, and Chris Rock. And we'll be right back to the same foolishness we've been. So again, what you gonna change? What's gonna be different for you? Who's gonna be the victim of your judgment this time? And if that's not you, and you are gonna make some changes, put it in the chat. I'd like to know. Because I honestly believe in all these situations, there are teachable moments. With George Floyd, teachable moments. With this, teachable moments. I went on Tuesday to talk to my young kings. Shout out to the young kings. And shout out to Pastor Maggie Wilson for her recent support and all the others who have offered some type of support to the young kings. Shout out to all of you. I had that conversation with the young men Tuesday. And they were as torn as some of you are. And they're 12, 13, 14 years old. Some of them said, you can't let somebody talk about you like that, Mr. Key, because then, you know, what are you going to do? I said, yeah, but are you willing to lose the things that you're willing to lose? Some said, yeah. Some said, yeah. And I said, then if you're willing to lose it, you do what you got to do. I'm not losing all that I got if I can avoid it. And then we talked about self-control. We talked about the power of words. We talked about manipulation. Because they're children. And this is a teachable moment. I have since talked about this with some adults. I have posted it on my pages. You've seen the videos. I posted on my TikTok, Instagram. I've had quite some conversations behind the scenes, and I have actually had some fantastic conversation with women who say, thank you for bringing a male's point of view. I appreciate that. But here's what I found interesting the last couple of days. The brothers who have come to the forefront to have an honest diatribe, an honest debate. Now, there's been a couple of brothers who want to try to bully me in their texts or their posts. Yeah, okay. That's cute. Those big angry words scare me. I don't care what you say, brother. Go F yourself. Cute. Cute. If you a social media gangster, rock on, bro. If that's what works for you, okay. I'm not worried about it. I ain't no gangster. Ain't no punk either. It's on you to figure out which one you think I am. Here's what I've learned over the years. Not too many cats run up and want to put their hands on a man my size. So it's cute when I get the little semi-unintelligent threats. Bruh, you can't threaten me and you can't spell the words correctly. I have no fear of somebody who can't spell. I don't. But anyway, I digress. So my question to all of you. We watched a man go up on stage and put his career in a very negative light because of a bad joke and influence from his wife. We don't know why the influence is what it is. We don't know why he chose the path that he chose. But what we saw was something that was bad for everybody involved. Chris Rock, Jada Smith, and Will Smith. Bad for all three, excuse me. And bad for all of us watching. And I think what's very uncomfortable for me was watching Denzel having to try to, I don't want to blow up Brother Rock and I don't want to disrespect Will, so I'm going to try to play this balancing act because the media want to know, what'd you say to him? What'd y'all talk about? But what I'm angry about, what I'm super angry about, is that this stupid situation sucked all of the life out of the Oscars, so Questlove doesn't get his time to shine. And the sisters of color who won their awards don't get time to shine. Even Will Smith himself doesn't get his time to shine because now you got to stand here and do a mea culpa and you got to cry and tell everybody why it is what it is. You didn't make this mistake. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with Serena and Venus not being able to enjoy their father's moment when this man was treated so badly. Now, he's not the greatest dad on the planet. Don't get it twisted. He's got issues. He's got other families. I got all of that. But he raised two of the greatest tennis players, not female tennis players, male or female. No greater winning combination. No siblings have won more than those two. Singles and doubles and mixed doubles. And he had a plan for it when they were children. That man deserves some respect. Did he make mistakes? Of course he did. And even his moment gets stolen because of this foolishness. That's what I'm angry about. Because you work so hard to get to certain levels, you don't throw it away on bull. Oh, Lord, I almost lost it again on BS. Excuse me. And that's what we got to teach our kids. Don't work for something so hard and throw it away on foolishness. I've done that. Sometimes we throw it away out of fear. We throw it away out of stupidity. And as you've seen on Sunday, we throw it away because of anger. And we got to teach children to not let those three things get to the driver's wheel, get to the steering wheel. They can't get in the driver's seat. Anger, ignorance, and fear. Those are the three. Let me make it clear. If we let ignorance get to the wheel, we're all dying. You let anger get to the wheel, we're all dying. You let fear get to the wheel, we're all dying. And so I challenge anybody watching me. I want you to challenge your circles. Go back into your circles. Black, white, indifferent. I don't care what your persuasion is. Gay, straight, whatever. I don't care. Go back into your circles and ask them, so what are you going to do differently? What are we going to do differently? Who are you going to help because of this? And if you don't think there's anybody for you to help, I respect that. Then get out the way of the people who want to help. Sit on the sideline and continue to criticize. Those are great seats, by the way. You get front row seats to the work you're not doing. And I ain't mad at you. But don't show up at the party and act like you should get a VIP spot. Nope. Go sit in the cheap seats with other folks who didn't do no work. But here's the funny thing about social media. You're going to lie and say, yo, me and Big Dog been boys for years. Yo, me and Tiff go back for years. Yo, you're going to tell all the lies in the world to make yourself sound bigger than you really are. Shut up. But go back to your circles. Challenge yourself and the people in your circles. What are we going to do different? Who do you think is in our circles that's hurting like Will is? Who do you think in our circles is hurting like Jada is? Who in our circles is dealing with some foolishness like Chris Rock is? We need to do something about that. We need to help them. What you gonna do? This will be talked about for another couple of weeks. And just like George Floyd, we'll stop marching. And we'll go on about our business. Cops will kill somebody else. And we'll act like it's just second nature. And you see it with everything. Many of us talk a great game, but we really don't want to help. I help. I do. I help on every day. I pretty much work every day, which means I'm counseling somebody every day, except for Sundays. But if somebody calls me on a Sunday, I don't turn them away. So 26 to 27 days a month, I am attempting to help and serve somebody. That's what I do. Now, I'm not asking you to do what I do. I'm asking you to put down in the chat for me, what are you going to do to help those around you? And like I said, if you don't want to help anybody, here's something you can do. Get the hell out the way. That's actually an action. Sitting down and moving to the side is an action. You're now not in the way. You're now not an obstacle. Get out of the way. And here's the beautiful thing. If you really want some extra advice, I won't charge you for this. Shut up while you're over there. Don't try to direct from the sideline. Don't try to preach and teach from the sideline. Either get in the game or shut up. Because you're not helping anybody sitting off to the side and then telling everybody what they should do. And I think it was funny when somebody wanted to tell me about a good marriage when they're not even in one. And then when I asked them, when you were married, how long were you married? He said 3 years. What? Okay, so then I said, what's your basis for like your understanding of a good marriage? And he said, well, I just kind of think about what things should be, and that's the way it should be. I said, but where's your proof? Like, where's the meat? He said, I'm just saying, bro, they got to do the work themselves. So you're just telling people what they should be, but you're not offering any assistance on how to make that happen. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you. And I said to the man, I said, I don't know if you know it. Me and Tiff have been together. My wife and I have been together 22 years, married for 15. And this is the discount part. This is the part I love. Oh, yeah, I hear you, but I'm just saying. Now, that's the part you always got to pay attention to, because that's the BS right there. When somebody acknowledges you and says, okay, and then they go, but anyway, that's man, shut up. And he said, but anyway, I'm just saying. So he brought it back to himself and then didn't say anything. I was like, okay, I appreciate you, but thank you. Take care. Ain't nothing else to talk about. He ain't trying to hear nothing I got to say anyway. So I don't know who needed this today. I had a canceled session this afternoon, so I felt like getting on. I just felt like speaking to this situation. Shout out to Cash Brown, because he posted an article that talked about Jada actually smiling when Will slapped Chris Rock. So now we just pour more crap into the dinner bucket that is just going to be more filthy, because now she's going to catch all type of flack and heat, and Will's going to look even more stupider. Let me tell you this before I get off here. Please listen to me. I would love to sit in front of all of you and say that me and Tiff have had a wonderful 22 years. Any of you that know me, besides putting in my book, From Gigolo to Jesus, I talk about it. I was horrible as a boyfriend. I had to learn to get better. And then after we got married, there's a couple of times I had to learn to get my stuff together because I had made some mistakes. But if you ask me, has the whole 22 years been great? I'm going to tell you no. But I am going to tell you that 16, yeah, 15, no, I'm sorry, 17 have been fantastic. I'll take that. And you're going to have to understand that in a marriage, in a relationship, in a partnership, in business, whatever, even if you just sexing each other, it's not always going to be great. The question becomes, is what it can be, what it is, better than the mistakes that you're going to make? I'm not here talking to you. There's not a degree on that wall back there behind me. If Tiff couldn't see through what I was to what I could be and allowed me to come back and sit down next to her. So I owe as much to her as I do the Lord, but the Lord a little bit more. And I'm okay with that. We got too many men out here now, chest puffed out, but they don't want to give the women that have helped them get there the credit that they deserve. We got a lot of women out here screaming, I like a man to defend me like that. No, you don't. Because then if he get himself killed and you killed and the kids killed, for what? A joke? What you want is a man that's not only going to protect you when you're in danger, he's going to uplift you emotionally and guard you spiritually. Now, you know why you don't hear anybody say that? Because most people haven't seen it. And most men haven't been that. That's why you don't hear it. That's why you hear everybody saying, I like the fact that he went out and slapped somebody in the face as defense. Really? But no one talks about, very few talked about the restraint would have been the manly thing. Just like you see women are saying, how come Jada didn't stop her man? Well, how is she going to stop him? Every good woman, yeah, I said it, would have understood how to shut that down and offer calmness to his storm. We'll deal with it later, baby. Not now. Let it go. Not to cut his legs out from under him, but to keep his legs under him. To undergird him. Because she knows now is not the time for that fight. We'll get that later. Tonight's your night, baby. See, many of you never even thought about that. See, some women did and would have. And if that's not you, I get it. I get it. I understand it. But check the women that you see that are successful. Watch how they move. Watch how a lot of the women that you hear, I would have did da-da-da-da-da-da, don't have nobody. And listen to some of the men who's like, I would have did X, Y, and Z. Ain't got nobody. Look how Denzel said, yes, I understand how sometimes the aggression can get to a certain point, but you have to be able to control yourself. You know what he's saying from an OG's position? Bro, don't let yourself get to that point. He didn't say he didn't understand. He's understanding that you don't let that get to that point. So how you think him and his wife been together, what, 30 years? You don't think they've been through some problems? You don't think Denzel wanted to put hands on somebody? But we miss those lessons because we're so busy bigging up the violence, which is easy. Animals go to violence because they don't have any higher learning skills, no higher cognitive ability. So a dog bites when he's hungry, and he bites when he's angry, and he bites when he's tired. Because that's all he can do. We're bigger than that, better than that, smarter than that. I like the way Will defended his woman. And y'all, some of y'all just ain't never seen a man defend his woman like that. Really? Really? So we just don't remember who Betty Shabazz is? We don't remember who Coretta Scott King is? We don't remember who Marley Evers is? And if those names don't make any sense to you, you need to be ashamed of yourself. Martin Luther King's wife. Malcolm X's wife. Medgar Evers' wife. All three went on to be very successful women after the murder of their husbands. That lets you know that those husbands chose good wives. And you don't think that they had to live with the fear and everything else only for it to come to fruition? You don't think they wanted to go out and beat somebody senseless for the things that they were hearing? Or does the name Rachel Robinson mean anything to you? Oh, you don't know who Rachel Robinson is? The wife of Jackie Robinson, who had to calm his anger, calm his fears, calm his tears, because he was told he couldn't fight back. He had to let people say things, real nasty things, not some corny joke. Real things. Hey, nigga, want some watermelon? On a regular. And when his wife would come to the games, they disrespect her too. But yet you were told you couldn't fight back. And Rachel Robinson said, I understood it. And when he got home, I helped him purge all that negative energy. And somehow they still was able to make babies. So don't tell me it's not doable. You just don't know about it because you're not reading about it, man or female. When God made us, he made us in pairs. You put a solid woman next to a solid man, the thing that you will see is something that you have not seen before. But often we got too many folks out here talking about as if they know and they ain't never been in a real relationship. It is what it is. But listen, guys, I'm going to get ready to go. If some of you are offended by what I have said and you don't like this style of live that I just did, there's a little thing called the delete button. Use it. And here's the best part of it. I won't know that you deleted me. Because I'm going to speak my truth. If you got a problem with it, respect. But hit that delete button. But share it first, though. Like it. Even if you don't like it, put an angry face up. And then share it and say, hey, y'all like what this fat dude talking about? Put it on your page. Say, yo, tell me what's your thoughts about this chubby dude. Because that's the thing that some of y'all spiral down to. When y'all don't really know what to say to me, you go to anatomic jokes. You chubby, you fat dude. Like I just woke up a big dude. That's all you got. Okay, ask your mom if I'm chubby. Ask your mom if I'm not sexy. Yeah. Even at her 60, 70 years old, she'll say, that's a handsome big man. What you talking about? So again, you think I'm worried about it? Hit the delete button. Because at the end of the day, to save lives, I got to climb down in the crap. And I know on my way down there, some of y'all are going to throw it at me like monkeys. Because you're going to act like it's okay to be in the crap. Some of you don't even know you in the crap. And some know that they're in the crap but have given up on trying to get out. Either way, we got to go down there and get all our brothers and sisters who are dirty. And you can't get somebody out of dirt without getting it on you. So if I have offended anyone, I apologize. It was not my intention to offend you. But I'm apologizing because I don't want anybody to hurt. But I am saying these are my words and I stand on them. And if you're so offended, then just go ahead and delete me. Because I'm not going to get in a back and forth debate with you online. You want to call me and have a direct conversation? Call me. You want to invite me to a panel to sit down with you and I'll give my point of view? Sure. And I'll respect yours. Even if you don't like anything about me, I'll say you are entitled to feel that way. Thank you. But a back and forth just for the sake of back and forth. And the one thing I will not do is the texting back. I mean, the posting back and forth. I don't do all of that. You might get one response, maybe two. And then after that, you're going to get okay, or I'll just like the post to let you know I read it. Go ahead with that. I don't have time for that. Somebody right now in every one of your circles needs some help. Somebody right now around one of you is hurting badly. Are you that resource? Or are you that hindrance? Are you the thing or the person that can help them? Or are you standing with your foot on the door with them up under it trying to get out? Only you know. So have a wonderful day, guys. I want to say I appreciate you. If you need to reach me, my link is in the bio. If you believe that counseling is something that you're ready for, reach out. Please don't waste my time. Be serious. Do I charge? Yes, I do. I am a professional. And I want to end, if any of you have churches that do not have mental health ministries, meaning you do not have a church that helps pay for part of your mental health care, reach out to me and let me come speak to your pastor, and let's see if we can put that into motion to get you the services that you need. Because I am a believer that the church should be assisting brothers and sisters, in the care that is needed to help make them mentally strong. And I believe that they should be paying a portion of the way. And I have a couple of churches that believe the same thing as me, and they work with me. And I am working to reach other churches. So if you want your church to be one, reach out. I would love to speak to your church. Have a wonderful day, guys. It's time to go. It has been 40 minutes. Okay. Let me get up out of here. I got some work to do. Take care. God bless. Be a difference maker.